There's a wealth milestone that changes everything, and most people never reach it: $100,000 in net worth. This isn't just another number, it's the point where compound interest shifts from invisible to undeniable, where wealth-building momentum becomes self-sustaining, and where financial confidence replaces financial anxiety. Charlie Munger famously said the first $100,000 is a bitch, but you gotta do it. He's right. Getting to $100,000 is brutally hard. It takes years of discipline, sacrifice, and relentless focus. But once you cross this threshold, everything accelerates exponentially. The next $100,000 comes faster, then faster again. Your money starts working harder than you do, and the path to financial independence becomes clear and achievable. I'm Kyle, and today I'm breaking down why $100,000 is the most critical wealth milestone, what changes when you hit it, how long it takes, and what you need to do differently once you're there. If you're serious about building wealth, this is the target that separates dreamers from builders. Let's dive in. The $100,000 rule is simple but powerful. Once you have $100,000 invested, compounding becomes emotionally and financially real in a way it never was before. At $100,000 and 8% returns, you're generating $8,000 per year in passive income without lifting a finger. That's $667 a month, enough to cover rent in some cities, pay your car expenses, or fund your groceries. This is the moment when you feel compounding working. Below $100,000, investment growth feels theoretical. You might see $200 to $500 per month in gains, which is nice but not life-changing. But at $100,000, watching your portfolio grow by $8,000 per year, often more during bull markets, is visceral. You see your net worth increase by hundreds or thousands monthly without additional contributions. This psychological shift is massive. You realize your money is becoming a parallel income stream. You're no longer just saving, you're building a wealth engine. And that engine is about to accelerate dramatically because the next $100,000 comes in 60 to 70% of the time it took to get the first. Here's why $100,000 is the hardest milestone and the most important. Getting from 0 to $100,000, investing $1,000 a month at 8% takes 6.5 years. That's 78 months of consistent contributions, avoiding lifestyle inflation, resisting temptation, and staying disciplined through market crashes. Most people quit during this phase because progress feels glacial. But once you hit $100,000, the dynamics change. Now, your $100,000 is generating $8,000 per year, which adds to your $12,000 per year contributions, $1,000 a month, giving you $20,000 per year in total growth. You're suddenly growing wealth at nearly double the rate with the same effort. From $100,000 to $200,000 takes 4 years. From $200,000 to $300,000 takes 2.5 years. The acceleration is exponential. This is why $100,000 is the filter that separates those who build wealth from those who stay broke. Let's talk about the math of acceleration. Going from 0 to $100,000, investing $1,000 a month at 8% takes 6.5 years. But going from $100,000 to $200,000 with the same contributions takes only 4 years. From $200,000 to $300,000 takes 2.5 years. From $300,000 to $400,000 takes 2 years. From $400,000 to $500,000 takes 1.5 years. The pattern is clear. Each $100,000 increment comes faster than the last because compounding dominates over time. By the time you're at $500,000, your investments are generating $40,000 per year at 8%, more than many people earn from their jobs. You've built a second income stream that requires no work. This is the power of crossing $100,000. It's not the destination, it's the ignition point. Below $100,000, you're building the engine. Above $100,000, the engine is running and accelerating. The first $100,000 feels impossible. The second feels inevitable. That's the magic of compounding at scale.
Here's what changes once you hit $100,000. First, confidence replaces doubt. You've proven you can build wealth, which changes your self-perception. You're no longer hoping, you're executing. Second, compounding becomes emotionally real. Watching your net worth grow by $8,000 to $12,000 a year without extra effort is motivating and reinforces good habits. Third, financial anxiety decreases significantly. You have 2 to 3 years of expenses covered, which creates deep security. Fourth, you think in years to financial independence, not decades. At $100,000, you're roughly 20 to 40% of the way to full FI, depending on your target. The finish line is visible. Fifth, you shift from accumulation to acceleration. You're no longer grinding to build a base, you're optimizing to maximize growth. Sixth, you attract opportunities. People with $100,000 saved have options, starting businesses, investing in real estate, taking career risks that broke people don't. Seventh, momentum becomes self-reinforcing. Success breeds confidence, which breeds discipline, which breeds more success. Here's what you need to do to reach $100,000. First, save aggressively, 20 to 30% of gross income minimum. If you're earning $60,000, that's $12,000 to $18,000 a year. Second, automate everything. Set up automatic transfers from paycheck to investment accounts so discipline isn't required. Third, invest in low-cost index funds. S&P 500 or total market funds at 7 to 10% average returns will get you there. Don't try to pick stocks or time markets. Fourth, avoid lifestyle inflation ruthlessly. Every raise should increase your savings rate, not your spending. Fifth, eliminate all high-interest debt. Credit cards, personal loans, payday loans, these destroy compounding. Pay them off before anything else. Sixth, increase income strategically. Negotiate raises, switch jobs every 2 to 3 years for 15 to 30% bumps. Build side income. Higher income compresses the timeline dramatically. Seventh, track net worth monthly. What gets measured gets managed. Eighth, stay invested during crashes. Market downturns are buying opportunities, not selling signals. The people who panic sell never reach $100,000. Let's address the timeline. If you save $500 a month at 8%, reaching $100,000 takes 11 years. If you save $1,000 a month, it takes 6.5 years. If you save $1,500 a month, it takes 5 years. If you save $2,000 a month, it takes 4 years. The pattern is clear. Higher savings rates dramatically compress the timeline. Most people in their 20s to 30s earning $50,000 to $80,000 can realistically save $800 to $1,500 a month if they live modestly and avoid debt. That means reaching $100,000 by their early to mid-30s is achievable. The key is starting immediately and increasing contributions annually. Every year you delay adds 1 to 2 years to the timeline because you lose both contribution time and compounding time. The difference between starting at 25 versus 30 is 5 years to $100,000, but it's also 10 to 15 years to $1 million because of lost compounding. Start now, regardless of how little you can save. $300 a month consistently beats $1,000 a month inconsistently. Once you hit $100,000, your strategy shifts. Below $100,000, you're in pure accumulation mode. Maximize contributions, minimize expenses, stay aggressive. Above $100,000, you're in optimization mode. Maintain contributions, but also start protecting and diversifying. First, ensure tax efficiency. Max out 401k matches, Roth IRAs, and HSAs to minimize taxes and maximize growth. Second, consider diversification. If you're 100% stocks, maybe add 10 to 20% bonds or real estate exposure to reduce volatility. Third, protect your downside. Get adequate insurance. Health, disability, life, liability. One uninsured disaster can erase years of progress. Fourth, resist lifestyle inflation. Many people hit $100,000 and think, I've made it, I can spend more. This is a trap. Treat $100,000 as a launch pad, not a finish line. Fifth, set aggressive targets. $200,000, $300,000, $500,000. Calculate timelines and reverse engineer required contributions. The momentum you've built at $100,000 should propel you to $500,000 to $1,000,000 within 10 to 15 years.
Let's compare two people. Person A earns $70,000, saves $7,000 per year, 10%, and takes 13 years to reach $100,000. They celebrate by upgrading their car and apartment, increasing spending by $10,000 per year. Their savings drop to $5,000 per year. They plateau and take another 20-plus years to reach $200,000. Person B earns $70,000, saves $14,000 per year, 20%, and reaches $100,000 in 6 years. They maintain discipline, resist lifestyle inflation, and continue saving $14,000 plus per year. They hit $200,000 in 4 more years, 10 years total, $300,000 in 2.5 more years, 12.5 years total, and approach $500,000 by year 16. Same starting salary. But person A treated $100,000 as a finish line and stayed broke. Person B treated it as a launch pad and became wealthy. The difference wasn't intelligence or luck, it was discipline after the milestone. Most people celebrate milestones by inflating lifestyle, which destroys momentum. Winners celebrate privately and refocus on the next target. Here's the brutal reality. Most people never reach $100,000. The median American household aged 35 to 44 has about $60,000 in net worth, including home equity. By 55-64, it's around $180,000. That means most people take 20 to 30 years to go from zero to $100,000, if they ever get there at all. Why? Because they waste years, starting late, saving inconsistently, inflating lifestyle, carrying debt, panic selling during crashes, and quitting before compounding works. The people who hit $100,000 in their 20s or early 30s are the same people who retire millionaires by their 50s. The people who don't hit $100,000 until their 50s, if ever, work until they die. The window to build wealth is finite. If you're 25 to 35, you have 10 to 15 years to hit $100,000 and position yourself for exponential growth. If you're 40 plus with less than $100,000, you're behind and need aggressive action immediately. The math is unforgiving, but it's also fair. Those who respect it get rewarded. Those who ignore it get punished. The people who reach $100,000 quickly share specific traits. They start investing in their early 20s, even with tiny amounts, $100 to $300 per month. They automate everything so discipline isn't required. They live well below their means, cheap housing, used cars, home-cooked meals. They avoid debt obsessively, no credit card balances, no car loans, no unnecessary borrowing. They save 20 to 30% of income regardless of salary. They invest in boring index funds and ignore market noise. They stay invested during crashes and buy more when prices drop. They increase contributions with every raise. They track net worth monthly and adjust quarterly. They resist social pressure to keep up with peers. They're patient, consistent, and relentless. By their late 20s or early 30s, they've hit $100,000. By their 40s, they're approaching $500,000 to $1 million. By their 50s, they're financially independent. The difference between them and everyone else isn't genius. It's intensity and discipline for 6 to 10 years to cross $100,000. At the core, $100,000 is the inflection point where wealth building shifts from grind to momentum. Below it, you're pushing a boulder uphill alone. Above it, gravity and compounding push with you. It's the moment when passive income becomes real, when compound interest becomes powerful, and when financial independence becomes inevitable. Start today. Calculate how much you need to save monthly to reach $100,000 in 5 to 7 years. Automate that contribution immediately. Cut one major expense, housing, car, or subscriptions, and redirect it to investments. Eliminate debt. Track net worth monthly, increase contributions annually, and commit to crossing $100,000 before your next major life phase. Tell me in the comments, how close are you to $100,000? And what's one expense you'll cut this week to accelerate progress? This is the milestone, This is the engine. Let's cross it together.